We are in type 3 of practice test number 3. So let's get right into it. First of all, for type 3, you know this is low pressure. So you gotta think of chillers and stuff like that. So once you're doing type 3, just know that you are doing type 3 because you can get the same questions on type 1 and type 3 and it could be different answers. So know that you're on type 3 once you're doing type 3. Where would you place a leak detector probe to check for a gas leaks into the water box with water removed? Now in this question, it's really simple. You see the word water box, that's a key word. Water box is gonna be in the drain valve opening. Water drain, so just mix those two. You see water box, you know is in the drain valve opening. Leak testing a low pressure refrigeration system with with nitrogen in excess of 10 psi could cause which of the following to fall? And once it exceeds 10 psi, 10 psig, it will be the rupture disc. It will always be rupture disc, especially when you're talking about type 3 low pressure systems. So for number 2, it will be D. On a low pressure system, moisture most frequently enters the system through, this is mostly everything, just not just chillers, just everything. It will enter to in the system from places that have gaskets and fittings. And the only one that says that is D. So I mean is C. So C will be the answer for number 3. Question number 4. What precautions should be taken prior to recovering refrigerant from a chiller suspected to be having tube leaks? Now, a chiller low pressure tube leaks, mainly tube leaks, tubes mainly have water. A chiller has water running through it. So the question will be obvious in this one. Drain the water side of the evaporator or condenser. I mean, evaporator and condenser. So A will be the answer for number 4. So on number 5 is asking you what category does a chiller belong to? A commercial, industrial, process refrigeration, comfort cooling, or ice making machine. Now chillers, it is really big equipment and it's mainly for really big buildings and really big buildings. So they have a lot of air going to separate rooms, and it's basically making every room feel comfortable, like having the right air, removing the right moisture, the right heat, so it's not as humid, so it makes you comfortable. So basically comfort cooling, that's the category it belongs to. Number 6, who is responsible for keeping records? Now for keeping records, it will be the owner and operator of the system. Owner or operator of the system, which is kind of basically the same thing. But the owner, whoever owns the system, or the operator, whoever operates in the system, that's who should be keeping record. So the answer for number 6 will be C, the owner and operator. So in this one is asking you which of the following cannot be used as a reason to not show up for a service call. And this one is simple. The only one in here that cannot be a reason to show up for a service call. So the only one in here that cannot be used as a reason is if a certified service technician is not available. If someone's not available, you just send someone else, but you can't let the customer keep on waiting. So how much is left? How much vapor is left after all the liquid has been removed of a 350 ton R123 chiller at 0 psi? How much vapor is left? I'll tell you right now. The answer will be 100 pounds of 100 pounds of vapor will be left because all the liquid has been removed. Now I will put up a picture of the PT chart, how to actually find this, and how much liquid refrigerant and vapor refrigerant you need, and you'll basically remove all the liquid and then all the vapor. So there's a certain percentage that you need on each system. Refrigeration, refrigerant, liquid refrigerant, and vapor refrigerant. There's a certain percentage that you need, and the answer for this one will be D, which is 100 pounds of vapor refrigerant. So why should that oil be removed from a low pressure system at 130 Fahrenheit? It will be because less refrigerant will be contaminated. So B will be the answer for number 10. So on a question like this, when it's asking you about the rupture disc, so on this one, a rupture disc or a rupture disc on a recovery vessel from a low pressure refrigeration relieves at. So when it's asking you about a rupture disc, in this case, you're on type 3, a low pressure. So when a rupture disc is a key word in here. When he just mentions rupture disc, you know it will be 15 psi. Now, the one of the last ones that we did is it did say when rupture disc fails, that's 10 psi G. But in this one, a rupture disc, when he says rupture disc and not fail or anything like that, it will be 15 psi G. So in this one, what should be on and what should be off during vapor removal from a low pressure system? You have to look for the one that says they all should be on. So everything should be on. So all should be on. So C will be the answer for number 11. So dealing with a low pressure system, why should water be circulated? So water should always be circulated, because if water is not circulated and water just stops, it will it's so cold that it will actually freeze. So water needs to be circulated throughout the whole system. So to prevent freezing of water in the appliance. So why is a vapor refrigerant reintroduced to a chiller before a liquid refrigerant? And the answer is pretty obvious for this one. It will be D. So on questions like this, these are my favorite type of questions, to be honest, because the keyword is so simple. It is major and is asking you about what is considered a major under EPA regulation. So major, you always got to think about the 4 major components. So compressor, condenser, evaporator, and metering device. So just look at the answer for one of those once it mentions a major, and in this case will be replacement of the evaporator coil. That is a major component of the refrigeration system. So that will be the answer for number 14. So we have done this question multiple times before. When can a appliance not be evacuated all the way to prescribed level? That is when the prescribed level is unattainable, and that will be answer C. So C will be the answer for number 15. Which of the following statement is true about recycling recovering equipment? And the answer will be D. It must be labeled and certified to meet EPA requirements. So in this question, there are two key numbers that you need to look at. That is more than 5 pounds and less than 50 pounds. So it will not be 1 year, because that is like you need more. It will not be 5 years though. It will not be 10 either. It will only be 3 years. Not 1, not 5, not 10. But it will be 3 years. So the answer will be B. What evacuation level must technicians recover refrigerant to before disposing of a low pressure appliance? And it will be 25 millimeters of Hg absolute. Absolute. There's one that is 25 millimeters of Hg, but this one is absolute. So in this one is talking about what's the primary reason for a purge unit on a chiller, but a purge unit in any equipment is to remove non-condensable from a system. So in a chiller it's the same thing, remove non-condensables. So the answer will be D, is to remove non-condensables. This one is asking where is the purge unit located, and the purge unit will always be located in the top of the condenser. So again, for number 23, I will put up a picture of the PT chart, how you get to this answer, but I will tell you right now the answer for this one will be 40 Fahrenheit. So I will put a picture so you can, and I'll tell you guys how to actually find the answer, but the answer for this one will be 40 Fahrenheit. So in this one, air in a system will always give you high pressure, but in this case, it will be high head pressure. In this one, it will be pretty simple. It will be when the TLV TWA is exceeded, and I'll put what it actually means. So I'll put the whole answer, but the answer for this one will be A. So on type 2, we had the same question for number 25, and is how much pressure relief valve be installed, and it will be in parallel. But in this case, it says not be installed. It should never be installed in series. So the question is A for number 25. And we are done with practice test number 3. So I'll make this video and then I'll put it all together so you can watch the whole part 3 of this. So you can watch the whole part 3. And then next video, when we do another EPA review video, we're gonna start with practice test number 4.